father brought his paralyzed son to compete in the Ironman triathlon. When the starting gun fired, the athletes immediately dove into the water. Only the two of them needed help from the staff to begin. The race started with the long-distance swim. Soon, the other competitors were already far ahead. In the vast ocean, only the father and his son remained far behind. The father clenched his teeth and pushed forward with everything he had. Stroke after stroke, he refused to stop. In the final seconds before the cutoff time, they barely managed to complete the swimming stage. But that was only the beginning. Without resting, the father quickly changed his son's clothes and secured him onto their special bicycle. Then they continued the race. Now they had to fight against time while trying to catch the athletes ahead. As he pedaled, he kept turning back to check on his son, making sure he was safe. Even though the gap between them and the other competitors kept growing, spectators along the road began cheering louder and louder. But the challenge was far from over. Near the end of the cycling stage, the father suddenly sensed something was wrong. He quickly stopped and checked his son. His son's waist had been injured from the constant friction. The father rushed him to the nearest medical station. Seeing how exhausted his father was, the boy quietly suggested that they should stop. But the father simply shook his head. They had to finish this race. Soon after, he returned to pushing his son's wheelchair and began the final stage. Now every step felt unbelievably heavy. The father's body had already reached its limit. Still, he kept moving. One step, then another. Toward the finish line, athletes kept running past them. But for the father, the finish line was getting closer. At that moment, only 20 minutes remained before the final cutoff time. His vision blurred, his steps staggered, and finally he collapsed. The boy looked at his father lying there, completely exhausted, but he refused to give up. Using every bit of strength he had, he slowly pushed his wheelchair forward. Seeing his son's determination, the father gathered the last strength left in his body. He slowly stood up and kept moving. Step by step, they pushed forward together. In the final moments, they finally crossed the finish line. This was not just a race. It was a story about a father's love and the unbreakable strength of the human spirit. They may not have been the fastest athletes that day, but they had already won the greatest victory of all, because true victory is not about defeating others, but about refusing to give up, no matter how impossible the road may seem.